Okay, you know, a lot of people don't understand, but in most of your financial analysts, one of the key questions they ask is, you know, what is your risk tolerance? And the reason they ask that is they ask the question for how much you're willing to lose. Most of the financial analysts or financial advisors build their whole platform on what we call the modern portfolio theory. And the modern portfolio theory was developed in 1952. And it was developed with the idea that you had large capitalization companies, small capitalization companies, mid capitalization companies, some international companies, some bonds, and maybe some, you know, cash or some other things. And that's what it was based on. And for a long period of time, from about 1962 to about 2000, this worked very well. I mean, because what happened was you had what was called a dollar cost averaging. So basically you had a dollar cost averaging. So what would happen is as the stock market would go up, even if it was going out and went down, you had the time frame in there to build additional. What happened in 2000 and actually 2001? We had the first two major crashes that we've had. And that was, we had the 9/11 and we had the crash of the tech bubble. Most people lost about 50% during those 50% in capital losses during those times. So, and then in 2009, we had another crash. So what happened when we had those crashes is usually prior to that time, bonds or internationals were kept safe. Well, if the large capitalization or some of these others went down, these would always be up. What happened in 2000 was this whole theory basically fell apart. So, I want to ask everybody, how many people are using their cell phone that they had in 1952? Okay? How many people are driving the same car that you drove in, let's see Stephen say 1960. All right, yes, I have a couple of classic car owners back there. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let me ask you another question then. How many of you, if you needed a major heart surgery today, would go to a doctor using 1950s technology? None of you? So then why are we using 1950s technology for our investments and our financial structure? Okay? We think we offer a better solution. And one of the things that we try to do is we try to look at, you know, how things happen over a life period. So while we're talking about this, let me go here. I'll put this up over here. So we're going to have a basic picture of the stock market, okay? So then we did this and this and this. Okay, this is kind of the stock market. Going to just kind of draw it out a little bit. This is, we're going to say about 1960. This is 1982, and we'll talk about what that bump is right there. This is about 2000. And right here is 2001, where most people lost about 50%. We're back up here at this point. So when we talk about dollar cost averaging, from 1960 to about 2000, you had pretty much an overall upgrade in the stock market. So if you lost a little bit over a long period of time, the buy and hold process, you would be able to accumulate, okay? But in 1982, how many people know what happened in 1982? Does anybody know what happened in 1982? 1982 is when the 401ks were created. Okay, and that's when you saw the first bump, because people went away from pensions and they went to the 401ks. But then here in 2000, and you can see how, and this is actual stock market, you can see the numbers of what's actually happened in the last 10 or 12 years. So let me ask you, going forward, how many people would suspect that we're going to see a stock market like we did between 1960 and 2000? Or how many people expect that we're going to see a stock market more like this? There are all kinds of things that have changed the stock market in this time frame. Back here in the 60s, when you bought stock, it took 7 to 10 days for that transaction to happen. How fast is a stock transfer today? Average stock is held 7 seconds. With our global economy, the average stock is held 7 seconds. So you can have a Facebook post or something or an announcement someplace and the stock immediately tumble hundreds of points just on a what they call electronic selling. Now they put some controls on that, but you still have the problems. This is where capital loss comes in. Let me just take an example. If we have $100,000, if we have $100,000 in capital loss, or $100,000 in our investment, and we take a 50% hit, what is our number now?
50,000.
50,000. Okay. If we grow over a period of 5 or 7 years, if we grow and we gain 50%, how much money do we have right now?
75,000.
75,000. But guess what? Even in all of that, we've still lost 25,000. Okay? So again, over the next 10 years, is the stock market going to look like this, or is it going to look like this? Those are things you have to think about and have to decide. You know, we at Accelerated Wealth, we build plans looking at different products and different, I'm going to stumble here for a second. We build plans looking at wealth drains. Okay. We build plans looking